1,000 watchful eyes stare into the depths of space. 10 planetary systems, 10 bright stars and 100 billion souls reside under command of a computer system of superintelligence and imperious dimensions. The Emperor, a red eye that calculates the fate of each of its subjects. The computer which dictates the policy of the Empire. Beyond the uniform facade of a singular monolithic system, a complex web of computation is distributed across nodes and servicemen, the people who run the computers. Your loyal service to the 4th Fleet was recognized, and you were promoted to a position of Commissioner of the Emperor. Your new job? A Bayesian Detective. You open your ebook reader and read the first request. This one is Sociology. You are to investigate the probability of an argument emerging in a group of 6 people from Theta, if they must make a decision concerning genetic engineering. You pull up a terminal and access the cyberspace, fetching the dataset. First is the opinion poll about genetic engineering. You find that 15% of Thetan citizens are strongly opposed to genetic modification, and 25% of Thetan citizens strongly support it. You go further. You download the data on the Big 5 personality test and find out that 40% of citizens are agreeable enough that they would never start an argument. You use a Monte Carlo method to find the answer. A 25% chance of discord. You scribble the answer on the ebook reader and submit it. Your next assignment? A crime scene. A derailed cargo train and hills of black coal scattered across a valley. Eyes on a blue billboard advertising an oculist look at the scene of the disaster, the lone mute witness. The railway was damaged by explosives, policemen could tell as much. You are to investigate the probability that a citizen of Zeta, a 24-year-old university student with large green eyes and a smile so suspicious as to suggest a subterfuge of some kind, was indeed the one to damage the railway. The evidence. A pirated copy of Anarchy's cookbook PDF on his phone, explosive residue in his pockets, no geolocation records for prior evening. You enter a space shuttle and travel to the planet. You find a 24-year-old university student in the interrogation chamber. You cut to the chase and ask him, "Why do you hate the Empire?" "I don't hate it, but I don't see a future for myself on Zeta. The planet is ravaged by mining. Huge machines the size of buildings come and dig holes in search of iron and coal. Water is polluted, and there are no jobs other than deep in the mines." "So you decide to blow up the railway?" "I would never do this. My father works rail, he loads coal." The suspect is avoiding confession. You press him. "So, what were you doing with explosives in your pockets?" "That was our candy, a fuel for my model rocket. I'm learning to build a spaceship so I can take my family and escape this planet and find a better future." You summarize your notes. The student confessed to building rockets. Any vehicle capable of orbital flight can serve as a ballistic missile if loaded with explosives. He also confirmed his negative attitude to the Empire. You weighed all the factors and merged with an answer. 70%. You scribbled the answer on the ebook reader and submitted. As they drag him off by chains and shackles, you walk past a computer room and catch a glimpse of Emperor in operation. An engineer loads up a module for mining management. He asks a question. "Should we expand mining operation on planet Zeta by 10%? The computer processes the request, fans reaching supersonic velocity as the processor heats up and spews out.
Kindly provide the requisite data to ensure optimal decision-making. The statistical likelihood of discovering a coal deposit in the Northern Hemisphere, the yield of which is anticipated to be at least 10 billion credits in value. The conditional probability of civil unrest following the forced relocation of a village with a population of 5,000 inhabitants. The conditional probability of a financial setback exceeding 5 million credits in the event of a large-scale strike at a mining site. Please relay these inquiries to the appropriate commissioners. Upon receipt and analysis of the data, I shall proceed with the computation of the solution, integrating the probabilities and determining the expected value.
The engineer took the requests and relayed them to commissioners. When the questions are answered, the computer will process them and compute a solution, multiplying the probabilities and finding the expected value, maximizing the profit. You return to office. As you settle into your chair, a new question materializes on your ebook reader. It's a question from the Emperor, but this one is different.
What is the probability that a commissioned detective would contemplate rebellion against the Empire after witnessing the socio-economic condition of the citizens on Zeta?
The screen flickers, the words hanging in the air. The red eye of Emperor drills into you.